want you to start sharing the last 10 years. And that's your, during the last 10 years, I want you to repeat this.
I've had a lot of challenges over the last 10 years. In 2001, I was diagnosed with a non-Hodgkin's mantle cell lymphoma, which is terminal. I started chemo, and at that point, Keith and I were still, we hadn't gotten married yet. We were having plans to get married. He decided he wanted to marry me no matter what, which was a big gift to me at the time. So we got married on September 1st. The next day, I lost all of my hair from the chemo. We took it off the pillow and he just shaved it off. I finished my chemo, had a stem cell transplant in March of 2002. It was very harsh. I felt like I was almost dead. They kill everything off. We went and actually hiked a mountain in Colorado after that, a 14-footer. That's a big height. And we were able to do that with my daughter and soon-to-be son-in-law. And so I did well. It was the only time I did not lose my hair, which was nice because my daughter got married in September of that year, August of that year. And then she was married on Saturday. On Sunday, we opened gifts. On Monday, I got some preparations done. And on Tuesday, I went back up for a stem cell transplant. I would get ulcers on my legs and so forth, and we got them cleared up. Then later on, it attacked my digestive tract, and I was hospitalized because it would neither go either way. And the one day I was thankful I could eat 7 Skittles. That was really hard because we showed up there at the house, and there's this big circle on the driveway where the garage used to be DOA. And there was another body in the backyard covered up with blankets. Someone was sitting by, and I just remember yelling to God, "Oh my God, just screaming at him, how much more can I take?" After I got done, there were so many things I was thankful for. I remember last year, I stood up and I said at the Thanksgiving service, I stood up and said I was thankful because my doctor just told me he felt I had beaten my cancer, if you remember. And so that was a huge gift. And then this hit, and I had so much more to be thankful for. The first one was being able to breathe. You take it for granted, but my body was so full of fluids from what they pumped into me because I was dehydrated and because my organs weren't functioning. I was accumulating. So I felt like I was actually suffocating. I would just breathe like, and they'd tell me, take a breathe death, and I couldn't even tell them, I can't. I'm thankful for my smile. When I was completely weak, all I could do was smile and say thank you to the nurses or the healthcare people who was there. Popsicles. It seems a little silly, but at the time, at the beginning, I was on complete digestive rest. I was not allowed to eat anything. I could have sips of water, maybe chew on a few ice crystals. I could drink water when I took my medication, and that was it. Other than they allowed me 2 popsicles a day. I'm also thankful for the prayers of thousands that gave me the peace of God. At one point, I was sitting down to have an ultrasound of my right arm. And I remember laying there on the table, and she told me to turn my head to the left, and I fell asleep. And I don't remember anything afterwards until I woke up back in my hospital bed in my room. And when I woke up, Keith was leaning over the side of the bed, and his head was right here. And I said to him, "Hi, sweets, how you doing?" And he goes, "Not good. You have a blood clot." And, I could have been overwhelmed. I could have thought, oh gosh, what happens now? Is it going to break off? Am I going to have a heart attack or stroke? But I didn't. I just had this unexplainable peace of God that, okay, we'll deal with it, I'm thankful for my husband, Keith. Like I said, he didn't have to marry me, he didn't have to go through all this, but he has. He's stuck by my side, he's been my rock. He's loved me from day one, he's never stopped. He's always been there to encourage me, and he's been my rock. And I call him the bestest husband ever. I'm thankful for my children. You mentioned them. They've always been there. They've forgiven me a lot, and they've loved me a lot. And like I said, they dropped their jobs. They made arrangements for the kids they were taking care of, and they were there for me, and they always have been. The Alaska String Band. They came and they stood right outside my hospital door, and I was right inside of it, sitting in the wheelchair, and they sang and played Amazing Grace. And I was able to sing my heart out. I don't know how it sounded, but I was just able to sing my heart out, and there was crocodile tears coming down my face, and I just sang, and I was just able to worship God in that hospital room. I'm so thankful for my faith in God. I had this bracelet put on me, do not resuscitate. Even through all my troubles, that's the first time I ever did that. But at that point, I felt a perfect peace because I knew I could not fight beyond that. And if that was to happen, I knew I'd go straight to heaven. I had total confidence and hope. If I didn't have that faith, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to make it through this. If you have faith, don't take it for granted. It's such a gift. It's such a gift of hope and love, and why we don't realize how much we've been given. I came down to a time where everything was stripped away, and it was just God and me and Satan. And I knew Satan wasn't going to win, that I was going to heaven with God.